Hello, welcome to the Ginger Geek Show. So Doctor Who Series 11 is approaching ever so soon. They're filming it right now, and for a wee while I wanted to do basically a sequel to a video I done for Series 10 on simply what I think should happen in the series. Now this isn't a top 10 or really kind of, you know, the list isn't in some sort of order of what I'd prefer most of all, but it's simply just points of just opinions that I have that I would very much like to see happen in Series 11. So yes, let's begin, shall we? New TARDIS, new tone. Probably the most obvious one out of actually anything that I'm going to be saying for today. So first of all, just talk about the tone I would like to talk about now. When you look back on Russell T Davies, he very much done a kind of, almost kind of soap drama kind of style with Doctor Who, and I liked some of that, some things I didn't particularly like of that, but that was more his just kind of style of writing with the show. And then Moffat did a more kind of fantasy, more kind of elements with his kind of stuff, more kind of the dark fantasy, especially more with Capaldi's era. And now when we get to Chris Chibnall's era, I hope he does some sort of kind of different tone with the series. I cannot tell you what tone, I leave that more to the smarter people to decide that, but I would like to see some sort of kind of different style and different way of doing the actual programme, because, you know, as I said, the show's been going for quite some time now, and you get to a stage where you need something sort of kind of fresh to keep it going. And that's what's great about this show, it keeps on changing, and tone is a good example of that. And onto the TARDIS as well, I want to see a completely new TARDIS, and obviously that's what's going to happen, but we got a little bit of extra information coming out recently of someone describing it as a CGI nightmare. And I'm not really a fan of that thing. I really hope it's not got much CGI in it. I understand, you know, especially in the modern ones, that's going to happen. Like the screens, for instance, there is always going to be CGI, but you know, I hope it's still just a great looking set. That's all I want, and I hope we kind of go back to like what it originally kind of looked like with the classic one. I either want the TARDIS to look two ways. I either want it looking simplistic or a bit kind of out there, like Matt's first one. I quite liked where it really described his Doctor, where it was a bit more mad and weird looking, and I kind of like that. And it'd be interesting to see how they're going to go with it in terms of colour scheme, in terms of style, in terms of look. Everyone always gets excited when they know what TARDIS is going to look like the new ones, and they've been doing them great ever since of New Who, really. New Daleks, and keep them new. Yeah, this is a thing I've been wanting for some time, if I'm honest. I think the Daleks had been a damn good redesign for some time, and obviously it did happen. Moffat changed them. And this is a good example. I'm going to get a little bit angry, Bryce, here with the Doctor Who fan base, where if they moan and moan and moan, sadly the writers and BBC listen and they do what the fans want. And I don't agree with that. I think they should stick to what they believe is right for the show and all that. I didn't mind the new Daleks. I didn't mind that design. I actually thought it was quite right and smart. The fact that they were actually taller, they actually had a bit of kind of, you know, they looked actually more scary by rights. I liked the different colour scheme that they had. Because for ages, and it still kind of is really, it's always just the gold Dalek, really. That's the most one. We've had a black one, we've had a red one, but that's kind of been really it, really. And I don't really like that, and I hope that they do change it and they stick to it, you know, and don't listen to the fans, you know, because, you know, if you're going to keep listening to the fans, I think you're going to end up doing a problem with the actual show, because I think you can only go so far with it, and just stick to. I didn't mind the new Daleks. I think if you kept the new Daleks going, a bit like the new Cyberman, I think they've ended up being quite liked overall. You know, then people have got kind of more familiarity with it. I mean, they were only in it for like one series, and then they were like decided to go. They shortened the Dalek appearance, and then suddenly it was just all the Daleks are all now together, and I wasn't a big fan of that. So yeah, I hope we get new Daleks and they stick with that design. Have fun with Gallifrey. Now, as we know, Gallifrey is Barrett's back, but obviously it's still in a pocket universe. It was still hidden away in the far reaches of the space. So it'll be interesting. I want to see some actually fun with Gallifrey. You know, you bring in some more Time Lord characters. I think that'll also be interesting. Actually, bring in some new ones. I did like the concept of the General that Moffat brought in, bringing in some new characters of the Time Lord mythology. You know, stuff like that. You know, I think they could really do some fun. I think a really great idea is actually like a basically another Time War happening, because, you know, if the Daleks kind of figure out that Gallifrey is back, they're going to be a bit kind of not happy with that, and it would make sense if they did some sort of kind of really big, you know, war again, really. That appeals to me quite so much. They did stuff that I just like them to see do stuff with Gallifrey. And I know at the end of the day it's all about you know, having fun out there and time travelling and all that, but you know, we've been waiting Gallifrey for quite some time, and it's quite nice to see it come back and interacting both ways, Doctor to Gallifrey and Gallifrey to the Doctor. I think they could do some fun storylines with this. Keep Unit going and Kate Stewart. Now, Kate Stewart actually hasn't appeared in quite a wee bit actually now in Doctor Who since, so she never appeared in Series 10, which I was kind of gutted with actually. I like to see more Kate Stewart. But what I'm trying to basically say is here, I really quite like the Unit. I would have a Unit spin-off any day, especially with Kate Stewart. I would love them to see them do more Unit stuff with connecting with the Doctor, because Unit is one of those threads that's been in it nearly to the start of the show, and it's been a constant kind of concept that's run through the show in a connection to the Doctor that he and now she has, and I really like that, and I really like Kate Stewart. I really like what they've built in this character, because for a while I didn't really like in Russell T Davies' era that there was constantly different officials and all that. And I didn't really feel connection to them because we didn't build on them. Well, at least with Kate Stewart, you know, I think Moffat's been quite smart with Kate Stewart, where you've taken time with Kate and you've built up on that character. And there's no point denying it. Kate Stewart and Jodie Whittaker's Doctor look like almost like sisters together, actually. I only realised this for some odd reason the other day, especially when you put them together, and I think they really would just really gel quite well. Keep Missy. Yes, now I know what you're probably thinking right now. Michelle Gomez says that she's not going to come back and that kind of stuff, but I just don't know. I feel like we're, you know, at an age where they're very much wanting to go for it, and quite right too, you know, for more you know, female influences in Doctor Who. And you know, I think this is the thing that people keep forgetting, that what Moffat done, you know, when you look at Unit, it's mostly women. You know, you also had Osgood as well. He changed the Master to Missy, you know, and don't get me wrong, yeah, it's a great scene. I think it's great. It keeps the show fresh of the Doctor being now a woman. But imagine if, like, you know, you're talking like, now, if they did keep Missy, and you know, they did keep Kate Stewart, you're talking like all the big, like, main hitters there of Doctor Who all being women. And I'm telling you right now, if you have a problem with that, think how women felt for 50 odd years having to see men just all being in those roles. So, you know, I think it's great, and I love Michelle Gomez as Missy. I want to see more of her. You know, and it'll be great to see what she would be like interacting with another Doctor, because we've had that in the past. With someone, we saw it obviously recently with John Sim, and we saw that with one other Doctor who managed to see 4th, 5th, 6th and 7th one. So, you know, it'll be interesting to actually have, if they do go, I don't know, but you know, I would like to see them use a Master for a more longevity. And Bryce, we didn't see her die, you know, it was I was hinted to, but you know, the Master dies like in every story, then he always just comes back in the next story and goes, "Aha, I survived, you didn't see that now, did you?" You know, it's always just the thing about the Master, he always does that kind of thing. But I would love to see Michelle Gomez come back, hopefully. You know, some people say they won't come back to things, but you know, no one thought John Sim was going to come back, and he was great when he did, so you know, you just never know with Doctor Who. And lastly, bring back Jack. Now, yeah, this is probably the most obvious one for any kind of list. I think a lot of people want to see Jack back. I was a huge fan of Jack. Not so much now. I feel like just because obviously they've not really done much new, but I think that's what's kind of maybe a good idea, because I think what would be good is actually letting John Barrowman age a good bit, so when he comes back it's kind of more of an impact, and maybe we get some more detail that the fact that he, you know, well, we have had that detail. He did. I remember he said it in Torch Return of Earth that it was hinted to that he does age just extremely slowly. But I would love it to see if we did see him again and he's aged quite a good bit. Even though John Barrowman doesn't seem to age in real life, but I would like to kind of see that, and I would always like to see Jack interact with any Doctor, especially now it's a woman. But I don't think, would that actually be a bad thing for Jack? I don't know. Would he actually prefer if it was still a male? Not really too sure with that one, but you know, I would like them to see that maybe running a different organisation somewhere in space. You know, that would be interesting, because I would continue Jack's storyline from when in Children of Earth he left, you know, off to space and all that. I would love if they confirmed if Miracle Day was actually just, you just skip that, that was actually not part of canon anymore. I'd be perfectly fine with that. But yeah, I would always like to see Jack back, and I'll be interested to see if they do or do not. So yes, that's my list of what I think should happen in Doctor Who Series 11. I'd love to know what you guys think. Comment down below, let me know what your kind of thoughts are, what you'd like to see in Series 11. More videos in the future, so until then, see you later.